Okay, we're good, guys. We're up and running. Happy as ever. Had some great shorts, guys. Look at these short entries, by the way, yesterday, right? We got a 5 to 1, then we had a 2 to 1. But look at how price continued to sell off for the rest of the day. Imagine being able to hold a short entry from there. 18 to 1, 16 to 1, 10 to 1. Just phenomenal, great tight entry. 2 point entries got 2 point stop loss gives us the ability to have a really tight entries, tight stop loss, and good take profits. So let's get into it. Take a look at the ES now, and first thing I see, right, we're gonna zoom out. We're on the 15-minute time frame just to start. See, we're pretty range bound right now. We came to these major swing lows over here. We were able to hold them. We held demand down here. This is great. That tells me that we might be looking to trade higher today. Especially because look, every time we try to dip to these lows, buyer step in, dip to the lows, buyer step in, lows, buyer step in, lows, buyers step in, lows, buyers step in. So we're looking to buy the lows and sell the highs, so we're going to be patient and wait for a great trade setup. We're not going to force anything. Good morning, everybody. Don't forget, guys, join me on Benzinga today. Yup, thank you, Concentrator, Mr. Potato. Appreciate you. Dan, what's going on, guys? Dan, great market analysis. Great run up. Right up. Run up, right up. Left up, down up. All right, let's start with our daily time frame as we always do. Go mark out our previous day high, previous day low, and look to see if we could get a good understanding of where current price action wants to trade and where we might be headed. YouTube guys, what's going on? We're popping off this morning. I love to see it. Hit that like, hit that follow, hit that subscribe. Why do people hedge when the market only goes up? Yeah, that's a great question. Why do people only hedge if the market only goes up? Well, because it doesn't always go up, but hedging is a fantastic way of sort of holding on to your profits while we have maybe some type of pullback. All right, so we have our previous day high, we have our previous day low, we have our opening price, great. We also have our old all-time high, this yellow line right here, and it might not look like it's holding well on the daily time frame, but intraday, it was holding as a resistance, and then it was holding as support. So I might look to see if there's a new demand zone or any type of zone that lines up with interest down here as well. Feels like it only goes up. Yo, listen, right now, since April, it has felt like we've only gone up, right? Since April lows, we're up 21%. We're up probably, no, 29, almost 30% on the ES we're up, guys. That is absurd, mind-blowing. So with that being said, we're not going to try to hold a short position long term here, right? Especially because we're not swing traders, we're day traders. So that's something I always like to point out too, guys. A lot of people who are day traders might get a little too stuck on like zooming out really far and be like, oh, well, we've been bullish, I can only buy. But we have to remember as day traders, what's really important is the relevant and relative price action, and that's going to be the recent week or two. 30%, that's not normal. Yo, good morning, Turk. What's going on, dude? What's going on? All right, so now we can break it down to some lower time frames. I know I came down to the 6 hour, but I'm not expecting to see anything here. 4 hour, same deal, because we're range bound. Probably not going to expect to see a 4 hour demand zone or supply. 3 hour, now here we go. So now we're sort of cooking here. So what I'd like to do is delete this broken 3 hour supply and mark out this new 3 hour supply right up here that formed yesterday from the pre-market, right? So we had our 3 hour basing candle, and then our 9 o'clock candle opened, and we had a strong move lower and continuation. So if I'm looking for longs today, guys, my target on the longs is going to be somewhere near the supply zone. So we could have a nice trade setup for us today, because that's about 40 points from this target rate, from this entry point right here. But remember, day trading, we're looking at a 3 hour time frame right now. I know when I'm trading on the 5 minute and 15 minute, so I want to break it down lower again. 3 hour, 2 hour. Do we have any new demand zones, any zones of relative anything down here? I do not see anything at all. 1 hour, it's got to be something. So we could delete any old price levels we have. I'm even looking at this supply zone here on the hourly, guys, and look at how well it held as resistance, 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 guys, can't even count on one hand how many times it's worked as resistance. With that being said, even though the supply zone, yes, has broken, I'm still interested in this price level. This is still a major level for me. And guys, this isn't near that 63.15. That was a crucial point. So I'm going to make this a blue zone. This is now my area of interest. So I like to use my areas of interest, just like I use my supply and demands. I use them as targets and possible entry points. So right now I might look to see if we want to find selling up there. But what I really want to do is, let's see, we'll mark this down a little bit. What I really want to do is see if we have any supply zones that lined up in here, maybe on like a 15-minute or a 30-minute time frame. And if we don't have that, then there's probably a better chance that we do remain bullish today, like I said. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good today, man. Excited to get the day going, maybe take some good trades today. 30-minute, check all of our time frames. We have, okay, perfect. So this is actually great right here, guys. We have our 30-minute basing candle. We have our sell-off and continuation. So this would be our supply zone. But remember, just because it's a supply doesn't mean we're going to sell there. I like to find supply zones if I'm bullish, because guess what? When we break that zone, that will be my retest and entry. So S 30-minute. And now I could say, okay, well now here's my entry. Is going to be off the retest of the supply zone. We're going to look for a break and retrace. So we'll look for a break of the supply zone, a retest into it, and that will be our long entry. So we'll look for something like that. And what we could also do is we come down to like a 5-minute, a 15-minute, and really look for any low volume shelves that may be affected in this area over here. We could even use Bookmap as well to help confirm any possible zones as well. Let's see, Bookmap here. We do have a pretty low volume shelf between 90 and 87. So 90 and 87, but that's way down over here near that old all-time high. So that might also be another trade setup I'm going to look for. So, right, I'm creating different scenarios off of different price levels. So when the market opens, I'm not trying to force everything I see. So let's see, 15-minute. So a couple trade plans I'm looking for would either be a long off of the retest. Let's see, we'll do 30-minute. And we will look for a long of the retest, so we'll look for a break. Retest. And take that long. Another trade setup I might look for is if we don't break that just yet, or if we want to pull back first. Let's see if we could pull back towards this old all-time high price level and then go long. So the two trade setups I see from this point are either longs off of that 62.90 area or longs off of this broken supply when we break it. So two setups so far, and we could also look to see if there are any potential short setups as well in case selling pressure does want to step in. I'm going to take a quick look at our market sentiment, and I'll let you guys know what's going on. Look at this, guys. Neutral outlook. So people are getting a little nervous here. We have CPI acceleration. June U.S. CPI rose to 2.7, dampening rate cut hopes and pressuring growth stocks. It's funny, I read the opposite, that it would help rate cuts. Though tech held up strong, Nvidia results. Let's see, on 19% of US stocks advanced Tuesday with 78% declining. So guys, it's 78% declining yesterday. It's market breadth. That's huge. Very important to be aware of. Good morning, guys. What instrument is this? This is Market AI, MRKT AI. Fantastic tool. I believe it's $49 a month, but if you use discount code Bullishbrs, you get 10% off for a year. So you off every month, off your yearly, whatever it is. But so $40, not bad. Great tool for headlines. This is what I mainly use it for the headlines. So look at this right there 1 minute ago. Trump tariffs threaten U.S. economy as much as European one, says German Finman, right? Anything that's sort of Trump related is going to show some significance. Usually, that's if he's the one saying something. 6 hours ago, CPI inflation unexpectedly rise to 3.6 in June, but that's UK. Got to make sure we look at where it's located. We won't have boots on the ground. 14 hours ago, tariffs, let's say, says tariffs payments start August 1st. Okay, this is another big one. That's 14 hours ago. Let's see what happened 14 hours ago. So what time is it right now? 9 o'clock, 14 hours ago, so 7 o'clock yesterday. Look at that. Did not really give us that big of an impact. Alright, cool. So we could wait now. Get search headlines, daily headlines. That's pretty cool, too. Market recap. do your report. What's cool with market recap is you could do, I think I asked him if you could do like a week's worth of information and say break it down for me. So here we go. Market is slightly bullish. Global equities demonstrated mixed movements with Wall Street futures under pressure due to inflation concerns, while European shares showed a little consensus amid varied corporate outlooks. The dollar edged down against the euro and yen, driven by market focus on tariff-driven inflation. So really just a lot of inflation talk. Considering your interest in major financial assets, yada yada yada, optimistic, fragile. ES and NQ futures indicate potential downside risks influenced by growth concerns and implications from evolving Fed policies, right? So again, the Fed rate cuts, very important when it comes to the market. NQ is looking clear for a good setup today. What's up, Leo? Yeah, dude, I'm liking NQ and ES today. I did ES. Let's do NQ now. NQ's another great one. Yeah, I got my screen up. All right, let's check out NAS. Ooh, NAS is coming near that resistance point. So check this out, guys. We had our pre-market yesterday, right? So our pre-market plan yesterday, we'll go to our replay mode so you can see what I was looking at from yesterday's pre-market. So like 8:30, right? So here's our 8:30 candle. So pre-market, I was looking to say, okay, we broke this supply zone. I want to see it hold as support. Now we came into it. I do believe we tried to hold it for a little bit. We go to the 5-minute and see how we tried to hold it. Well, actually what happened was NASDAQ was relatively stronger than ES for the morning, and it failed to get to that zone, but that was a target I had in mind, and then it came into it. It tried to wick. It tried to hold as support, but what we'll see is I do think we eventually fail it. Yeah, we end up failing it on this dip right here. But again, before we fail it, it tries one more time to hold as support. So this is a very key level on the NASDAQ to look for possible sellers or buyers, depending on where price is trading when we get up to that point. So right now, it looks like price is trading into it from the downside. So we would find sellers up here. We could check NASDAQ on Bookmap, 23,100. That's going to be right here, 23,100, major Bookmap level. We're going to call this BML, Bookmap level. And we're going to put that in the middle. And we're going to make this purple. You'd think I would just save a Bookmap level template at this point. But that's our Bookmap level on NASDAQ right there. 23,100. So I'd look to see if we find sellers with the big with the big ask. So there's a big passive seller sitting on the ask right here, 23,100, while it's also in an area of resistance. So this is a major point that I want to see if sellers could step in. So now that I found this area, I also want to see if we have any supply zones that match up with it. A little bit of a 45-minute supply right here. Nothing too crazy. It's not really at a pivot high or anything. We could keep looking around, make sure we're not missing anything. 1 hour, 2 hour, probably not going to see anything on these time frames. Yeah, really not seeing much. Something I will point out, though, guys, is we had this bit of a basing candle here on the 4 hour. Had a sell-off. Follow-through was pretty weak, though. So I wouldn't mark this as a supply zone because the follow-through was weak. Usually when we get a supply zone formed, it should bring us to the next demand zone. It's a little trick right there for you guys. Right now, it looks like we had a big basing candle here on the 4 hour to wick us back higher. And if we looked at the 6 hour too, it's also giving us that similar price action. Now remember, the 4 hour time frame doesn't close until 10 a.m. Eastern. Let's see. So what we'll do, like part of me wants to mark out this as the supply zone just to play it safe, and we will. I will mark that out. Probably not going to mark it with the actual supply zone itself. But I do want to be aware of just that red zone, like the price levels. Good morning, everybody. What's going on, guys? YouTube, love the way you guys are running that like button up today. Let me get the link to Futures Fever for today, guys, so you guys can get the chance to win a free Apex Trader evaluation account. Okay, guys, here's that link. to Apex Trader funding to Futures Fever for a chance to win a free Apex Trader evaluation account. Futures Fever right there. Futures Fever right here. At 11:30, guys. 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Alright. Yo, what's up, Fairchild? Good morning, guys. I'm also, guys, the live stream today. Usually like to run it to about 10:30, 11. Probably gonna wrap it up around 10:30 today, because Benzinga asked if I could cover an interview for them. I'm gonna be interviewing the CEO and founder of BioLargo. I gotta get the ticker for that. But it's gonna be pretty cool. So that's from 10:50 to 11. A little 10-minute interview there, then Futures Fever after that. I like to stay busy, guys. Give you guys the best of the best. So this was Naz, really just looking for this area up here. What I'm gonna do is, instead of having all these red zones, is I'm gonna make this one blue. So I know this is sort of my newer area that I'm looking at. But essentially looking for shorts up here on NASDAQ. I'd like to see if ES could find resistance up there too, but I was really looking for longs on ES. With that being said, let's look for a possible long entry on NASDAQ if that's what it wants to present itself. So something I would note, guys, is look at this red zone right here. So this was a supply zone. It worked as supply, and then we broke in and worked as support. So I would be looking to see if we could possibly find some buying pressure down here on the NASDAQ. Something like down here. Now, obviously, I wouldn't take this as a trade with a 22-point stop loss. I'd probably end up taking the trade and we'd look at Bookmap to see if we could find any good entry points. Right now, guys, we don't really have many targets to the downside. So we might be looking to rip today, but we'll see. We'll be patient. We'll wait for the market to sort of play out and give us something. There we go. 22,800. 800. That's all the way. Guys, 22,800 is all the way down here. That would be insane. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Over a 200-point sell-off on NASDAQ? Listen, is it impossible? Absolutely not. Heard that BioLargo had some regulatory difficulties recently. Ooh, I'll look into that. BioLargo, my cargo. S-cargo, my cargo. What is it? BLGO. BLGO. Take a look at where their stock's trading at. No, I don't think that's a video. There it is, BioLargo. Oh, so they're a penny stock at the moment. Very penny of them. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. But that's cool. Listen, guys, penny stocks have a lot of potential, and it really depends on the company and what they're doing. BioLargo, I remember the last time I had them on, they were working on some potential government contracts, which could really help fuel some type of move on any company. So just something to be aware of. Let's take a look at gold, guys. I love trading gold. At this point, we really got to be careful with where we're at. At this point, I like how this candle closed yesterday. This is a beautiful red candle. I would be looking for continuation today for bears. Something I'd note too is yesterday, remember we started green yesterday and I was looking for shorts. We ended up selling off pretty hard. I did not take any shorts on gold. Here's our open price, previous day low, previous day high. 4 hour, not seeing much. 3 hour, possible basing right here. Sell off candle, and I'd look for continuation following through. Which could continue right now. It looks like it's ready to continue right now. I don't have any trade setups here on gold. Very choppy right here. And this demand zone we broke it yesterday and we tried to hold it as resistance. But at this point, if we're trading within this huge range, 33.36 to 33.52, I'd only look to buy the lows and sell the highs. I would not look for a trend trade here. I'd look for consolidation and chop. Here we go, perfect. New supply zone. 30-minute supply zone right here. This is where I'd look for shorts on gold today. That's 30-minute, and that is about how many points away? Is it reasonable? It's under 20, it's under 15, it's only 10 points away. It is reasonable for us to pull back there. I'm going to add my alert, looking for shorts on gold in the supply zone. Now we got to be careful with every trade we take, whether it's gold, whether it's oil, whether it's ES, whether it's NQ, because at the moment tariffs are still in the air, and when that happens, he's able to sort of speak or tweet or whatever the case is at any moment, and the markets can give us a wild reaction, like no hesitation, just a wild move. Let's see, 15-minute, looking for any possible demand zones now. I'm most likely going to delete, let's see. I'm gonna delete this zone right here. It's like, part of me, so look at this, guys. This is my thought process behind this with these zones. My thought process is, first, let's look at this top one, right? And I see that this was a support area. That's how it formed a demand zone. And it held as support twice over here. And it held as support again over here. Then we failed it. And now we've come into it, and we're using it as resistance. So that would sort of tell me, okay, let's hold on to this one. But then I would look at the one underneath it as well and say, okay, well, this one's same deal. Held as support, then it held as support again here. Yesterday it broke, and then this one held as resistance. So that's why I'm calling this sort of a rock and a hard place type of situation, because we don't really know, is this support finally going to hold, or was it broken, therefore we shouldn't be expecting it to hold? Let's see, 30-minute, looking for any demand zones down here. I almost wanted to mark out this demand zone right here, and what I'm doing now is sort of finding the range, right? So now I have a new demand zone down here. So now I could try to start to delete some of these zones, right? If they're irrelevant, we could try to start to delete them. I guess what I'll do is I'm going to delete, well, I won't delete them because I do want to be aware of them. So we'll fade them out a little bit so they're not as clear. But we'll at least be aware of them, so we're not going to try to jump in and trade, oh, we're in a demand zone, I'll go long. Or, oh, we're in this chop zone, I'll stay patient. Biolower Ergo does PFAS remediation and invented poof. That's right, yeah, PFAS and poof. That's all them. I remember that from the last interview. That's probably what one of the questions is this week. Let's see. Yeah, about how they invent. Second question's about their PFAS. Shifting to clean energy. Somebody said I lost count of the number of times I was taking a scalp and Trump tweeted something wiping out my position before I could even read the alert on my phone. Dude, I know, but you know what? That's where I like Market AI. Market AI is quick, dude. They have, obviously, with AI integration, and they get all of their information from, I guess, Bloomberg as well, but mainly from Reuters, forget how to pronounce it. I want to say Reuters, but Reuters, right? Reuters. Oh, so close. I was close. I got two wrong. My third guess was going to be Reuters. But great tool. And also, if you have a home screen on it, right, you could do your favorites, and it could give you a little bit of an analysis on what's going on. Neutral hourly outlook, bearish daily outlook, bullish weekly outlook on the ES here. And then it also gives you a sentiment analysis. Gives you a little bubble chart or a bar chart, depending on how you want to view it, but it tells you why markets are moving the way they're moving. 40% is because of the tariff concerns that I just mentioned. And what's great with Market AI is they're always updating stuff, man. Like, literally every week. Don't get me started on politics. Yeah, good interview coming up later today. Good Futures Fever episode coming up. I'm probably going to cover, guys, I know I don't use moving averages myself, but I'm probably going to cover different trading strategies and systems you could use along with supply and demand. But again, I really, really, really want you guys to join that today. Drop a like, drop some comments, help me keep the thing going, help get some people going, use some codes, whatnot. Win a free Apex account. Not joining for nothing. Not joining for nothing. I'm going to add an alert on NASDAQ at 23,085. I'm also going to add another one near that 23,100. Because this is an area of resistance up there. And I know at this point, right? Remember, guys, always got to think in the mind. I always say think in the mind of a retail trader. But in all reality, we're all retail traders. Unless we're owning our own firm. We're moving millions of dollars worth. We are retail traders. With that being said, I like to think in the mindset of, if I was too zoomed into the chart, what would I be thinking? And right now, looking at the chart, let's say we're looking at the 15-minute here, we're looking at the 5-minute here, and we don't have any supply zones or demand or any resistance. Say, oh, okay, well, look at this. Pre-market, wow, we held VWAP, we're pushing higher. I gotta go long in this. This is bullish. Meanwhile, we have resistance right above head. Those people aren't going back to the 15-minute, zooming out, looking at that previous day's price action. On the contrary, a lot of times when we have some type of selling like this in a bull market, that next day following can consume that whole downtrend, right? So we could look to target possibly this high over here. Let me update previous day high and low on NASDAQ. My only issue is right now on the daily time frame, we wicked the highs and we closed, look at that, we closed below those recent highs we made. So this is a basing. Could look for a sell-off on this candle to create a daily supply zone. So that could be something to keep an eye on, be a little careful with. That's why, again, I'm looking for shorts. I'm okay taking a short up here. I'll look to see how markets want to hold at that point, if they want to hold, and where they want to hold. Would look for an entry around that 23,100 key psychological level. Would look to target at least the opening price as first target. That's a 6-to-1 risk to reward right there. And that's not letting our winner run, right? We saw yesterday we had that great trade on ES for a 5-to-1. But if we let it run for the rest of the day, it would have never came back to our entry point, never came to our stop loss, and it could have ran for almost an 18-to-1. Yeah, yo, Lil AR, my bad. I saw you said, let's check gold. Oh, we did run through gold a little bit. Yeah, we ran through gold a bit. We found its range. Look at that. So we went from NASDAQ back to gold. Remember, we were having trouble reading gold? Well, now we have a lot easier of a read on it because we have now our bottom of our range and the top of our range. And that's sort of how we have to mark things out. If we could find that previous day's range or previous few days' range and trade within that, that's ideal, right? And if we can't find that range, then there's a good chance we're trending, and then we're able to take advantage of that. Nice, yo, nice. Rotten is a gunner. Dude, what's your name, man? You go by Gunner? Or Rotten? Yo, good morning, everybody here on Discord. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. It is 9:12. Markets open in about 18 minutes. Let's do a little write-up here. Let's see. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for on NAS right now. And what's great with this write-up is that if we fail this this supply zone, when I say fail, I don't mean we hit it and we sell off. I mean fail the supply zone, like we break the supply zone, we fail to reject it. If that's the case, I'm going to flip it, right? And we'll look for long positions off of that zone and price level. So it's just a matter of being patient right now, waiting for the reaction. But we'll wait. We got about 15 minutes for the market to open. YouTube, appreciate you guys running that like button up. Pat yourselves on the back. Let's keep the ball rolling. Love to see it. So this is what I'm looking for on NAS here. Any other targets to the upside? Not really. 23,200. It's a possible target to the upside. So what we can do is we can take a quick screenshot of that. Go look for, and that's what I'm going to look for today. So I'll go to the watch list. We'll do our write-up now, and we'll see what's going on. NQ, NASDAQ, QQQ, whatever you want to QQQ call it. Large cap equities have been much stronger than the general ES S&P 500 market. So I'll look to see if buyers do want to step in again today. However, they did start to run out of steam. So I'll look to see if Nvidia could pull below 170 key psychological level. So I'm getting an idea of my equities to sort of help give me an idea of my NASDAQ trend. So like Microsoft is at all-time highs from yesterday, made all-time highs on Microsoft. Nvidia made all-time highs yesterday. Apple, far from it. Tesla, far from it. I think Meta was near its all-time highs, though, too. Meta came off of all-time highs just a couple weeks ago, late June, June 30th. So again, equities, for the most part, check this out, guys. Ready? We're on Meta, and I'm going to show you our April low. So this is when Trump announced the Liberation Day right over here. So this is our low. We'll do yellow on that. And then we went all the way to all-time high. So we went from 481 to 741 on Meta. That is huge. Jay, all right, what's up, Jay? My OG account is way into Nice, yeah, nice. But so, okay, so here, this is what I want to show you guys. So Meta, boom, major lows to boom, all-time highs. Amazon didn't reach all-time highs, but it's definitely a lot closer than something like Tesla. Look, Amazon's only about 7% away from all-time highs. Meta, Nvidia is at all-time highs. Netflix was at all-time highs. Tesla, look how far we are on Tesla, guys. Tesla's over 55% away from all-time highs. That's called a lacking equity, right? This is an equity that's not keeping up with the rest of the large caps. What else? Microsoft all-time high. Apple was another one that's not at its all-time highs, and it had some room. It almost resembles Tesla's chart in that we had our all-time highs late in December, and Tesla, I do believe, had also all-time highs in that late December. Yup, look at that, middle December. So Apple and Tesla sort of following each other in that sense. Every time Apple runs into my blue level up here, you guys see this blue zone? We find selling pressure. We pulled back. We consolidated. Found selling again. Selling failed to make a new low. We pulled back. Failed the zone again. Look how many times we come into this area and fail it. But each time, right? So we came into it once here. We had our sell-off. Came into it again here. Sell-off wasn't as strong. Came into it one more time here. Sell-off again wasn't as strong, and then we sort of consolidated, and now we're trying to break that zone. So I'd like to stay bullish on Apple, but I really need to see it claim above 21. I'm sorry, what is that? 213, 214. I need Apple above 214. So let's get back to our NASDAQ write-up real quick, sort of cover that. Large cap equities have been much stronger than our ES, S&P 500. So look to see if buyers want to step in again, and run out of steam. So let's see if Nvidia can below. Shorts along with large cap tech stocks. Apple, Microsoft, Meta. Selling pressure too. Guys, if equities could start feeling that selling pressure, that's going to line up really nice for shorts today. There's no doubt about it. If Nvidia remains bullish, Apple also tries to get back above that 214 level. These are going to be bullish factors. So we have to be able to read the internals of the chart and the equities and everything, and then be able to take it from there. So let's get back to NASDAQ on our screen here so we can look at the actual zone we were looking at. And let's put, what do we have up here? This was Meta. Okay, here's our NASDAQ. So the zone we're watching for, major zone, is between 23,086 to 23,111. 111. This, oh, all right, so this area held as, or tried to hold as support yesterday, but failed. Now I will look for us to, nope. Now look for us to retest this zone as resistance for shorts. If we break above it with strength, I'll look for longs targeting previous day high. And I guess for the shorts, targeting open price and previous day low. So that's what I'm looking for on NASDAQ today. Pretty solid write-up. See what we're looking at, see what we're doing. I'll send that on out. I like to send that on over to like Twitter and whatnot. Guys, make sure to follow on Twitter. It's Trade with Kev. Instagram's Trading with Kev. And obviously the Bullishbrs Instagram as well. I run that too. So go show some love always. Anybody here use Trend Spider? Guys, let me know if anybody here uses Trend Spiders.
Signet does.
Does he? Yeah, like daily?
I don't know daily, but he does use it.
Okay. I thought we lost you there for a minute, Marzetti.
Sorry, phone call.
Unacceptable. Tell them you're busy. Just kidding. Alright, let's give me half a second.
Yeah.
Alright, good. We're cool. We're cooling on the day, guys. We got our trade plans for NASDAQ. We got our trade plans for ES. We got our trade plans for gold. Probably just gonna leave, So look at ES right here. It didn't break the supply zone with the body. Usually I'll look for it to break and close above the supply zone and then retest it. But right now we broke it and we retested this bottom of supply as a key level so far. If this wants to hold, I'll see where markets want to open, and I might look to see if we want to sweep these lows for a moment, find some buying pressure underneath, and then find those long positions. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, guys. What's going on? What's up? What's up? Desi, Dave, Ozzy. What's up? Austin, Adrian. Good morning, guys. Jay, Johnny. Hope everybody's doing good. Be ready for a killer trading day. Look at oil, man. Oil's so weird, man. I wouldn't look to trade oil. I wouldn't look to trade oil if it was paying me to trade oil. Gold possible sells 33.47. But something to note with gold is we have multiple heavy ask levels, and usually that means these are targets. So right, 33.47 target, 33.50 target, 33.51 target. This 33.50, guys, has been here since as far back as I could look. So this is a very strong level. I don't believe it's a spoof order. I do think it's going to stay there. That's right at this 50. So we're going to do our book map level right at that 50. That's right above that pivot high. So that might be a pretty solid book map level for shorts on gold, depending on our structure around it, and if we could start to find some selling pressure after we fill it. So we'll add an alert there also on gold. And remember, I was looking for shorts on gold anyways, because look at the daily time frame here on gold. Well, first off, look at the daily time frame and look at how choppy we are. Talk about not having any continuation. But what I was looking at was when we zoom in, the past few days, look at this. We broke this previous day high, and then we reversed and closed red. Yesterday, we broke previous day low, and we held and we closed red. So today, because the candle's currently green and we haven't broken previous day low yet, I would be looking to see if we could try to find some selling pressure up here to short it to target previous day low and then even underneath previous day low. Because if I'm looking for the similar price action here, this could be a really nice trade setup. And that's how we could use our daily time frame to help us find our day trades. What's this? I was going to say, what's this big green zone? It's the short position tool.
For a grass golf course.
It's a golf course. Oh, I didn't know I was the president. Alright, guys, markets open in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. When markets open, we'll look at ES and NQ.
So that means it's potty break time.
Yeah, right. Go to the bathroom before the markets open. Guys, while we wait for market to open, I'm going to put a quick tweet out there just about Futures Fever. You know, not for nothing, guys. I don't know if any of you are on Twitter, but you know, a nice little repost here and there. That'd be nice. Oh, what am I doing? Right. I'm making a post for Futures Fever. I want you to serve my army. I'm just kidding. Now, 3. I'll be live on Benzinga at 11:30 a.m. Eastern for Futures Fever. And for a chance to win, all you have to do is drop a like and fill out the, what's it called? Give me 1 sec. Let's see. Good morning, guys. Good morning. You need the link for the Apex entry. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'll well, the link for the Apex entry in the comments. What's it called? That comes when the show starts. I don't have that link. The producers have that link at Benzinga. Dude, gold rejected right before getting to that level. I'm not taking gold shorts down here. We're waiting on that. Market's open in C-minus a minute and a half. Okay. Good to go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, guys. What's going on? What is up? Who's ready for a great trading day? You got less than a minute left for markets to open. Let's see where we're at. I might look for NAS shorts when market opens because I'm thinking we might get a spike through. And if we get a spike through into this 23,100, 23,112 and we start to reject, I'll take it short off 23,100, stop loss around 23,112. And yeah, we'll see. 23,100, stop loss 23,112. So right, push into this area, find some selling pressure. That's what I'm looking for. 20 seconds, guys. Can I get a drum roll? Markets are opening. See, we get a soundboard going. And that's not a drum roll. Alright, there's market open right there. They sort of pulled some of the orders near that 23,100. I wouldn't take ES either, just yet. I'll probably wait and see which direction we want to go first. Good morning, everybody. What's poppin', ladies and gentlemen? Okay, we're moving up. Getting some selling. We just hit the key level and seeing some selling pressure already. So that looks pretty good. That was without the 23,100 level. So we might be front running that level. We might not get to it. It might have just been that pre-market high sweep into this resistance and then a reversal. Yeah, look at that. Big sellers. I did miss the short entry. We had bias right on it. Just missed entry. We do have VWAP near this next support zone. Here comes ES. I might look at ES down here. We do have a lot of resistance above us. Online death certificate request. Might be support here on ES. Just wait 1 second here. VIX is moving lower, which is bullish. I'm gonna try an ES long. Let's see. Off of these key levels over here. So we get one more dip. I'd like to get filled around 62.94.25. Stop loss 62.94. Oh wait. 62.91. Aw, man, missed my entry. It was on it for a second, and it wicked. Could be a little patient here. We're sort of in that middle of nowhere zone where it's like ES is at support, Nasdaq's at resistance. I'm gonna cancel that position for a second. I'll keep it ready to reactivate, but nah, I'll put it back out there. I do like it. It's like it doesn't look awful. All right, almost dipping into it. Come on, fill me. All right, there. It filled me. Filled me at the actual key level itself. What is that like? 62.94.75. Stop loss is at 92.25. I'm in a long position on ES right here. Nice. Nice little curve up there. Let's see if we could hold it. I like the VIX moving lower. That's why I took this. Nice, guys. Beautiful. Wow. Great entry. Great entry. Fantastic. That's huge. Boom. I'm gonna get out there for a scalp. So entry was 94. Exit's 99. Nice 5 points on ES because all I was looking for was a small move today. I wasn't looking for a big crazy trade. So let's see. There we go. ES looking ready to hold. Nice. Dude, this was a great entry, guys. Fantastic. Hope some of you guys are able to take it with me. I know sometimes my entries are a little quick, but that's why I like to try to talk them through first so you guys get the opportunity to also try to position yourself. Good stuff, man. I'm glad I got out for a scalp, too, because the reason I got out for a scalp, guys, is because NASDAQ is so much weaker. Remember, I mentioned ES and NQ. ES is at support. NASDAQ's at resistance. That's a hard point. I shouldn't expect any of them to trend. So I got in, bottom tick, nice move, got out, 5 points. That's it. We were able to recognize we're range bound, and I shouldn't look to hold this. And that's a great thing that I didn't hold this so far. We have 7 seconds left in this 5-minute. NASDAQ, huge rejection off of that resistance point. Price levels have been killing it lately, guys. Look how much stronger NASDAQ is to the downside right now. Boom, wow, look at that. We might go run for another leg lower on ES here, because, I don't know, we'll see. Nas looks good for a drop. Take a look at our equities right now. See where Nvidia's trading at. See where everything's trading at. Meta trying to move lower. Microsoft was trying to move lower, holding right now. Most equities are trying to hold. Nvidia rejected highs. Meta new low a day. Microsoft trying to hold up. Apple trying to hold up. Hold up. Read them stocks. Yeah, look at this support level on ES here. Beautiful key level off of 62.94, guys. Beautiful. NASDAQ is now at a support zone too, so it's like, okay, now I'm getting a bit more confidence that we might want to hold longs here. But I'd much rather let the market prove to me first that we're holding longs before looking for a trend trade. 63.10 target on ES to the upside. That's pretty clean. 63.15 is also in play. Look at this, guys. Every day for the past 4 days, 63.15. ES looking ready to pop. Let's get ready, guys. VIX is moving lower still. That's what we like to see. Guys, let me know if you took any trades so far. Markets just opened 6 minutes ago. Usually I wait for markets to develop a little bit. This time markets gave me my entry in the first few minutes of the market open. There we go, ES. Looks good, guys. ES running out of resistance above us. Looks good to run. There we go. Weighted index dropping again. Wow, look at that rejection on ES there. Huge. Huge. That's why I said I'd rather wait to make sure we get confirmation that we're actually starting to trend. Because without confirmation that we're trending, guess what? We're going to do this again. We're going to range bound again. We're going to look like we're popping, and then it's going to pull back. We check our point of control here. See if volume's at least trying to move higher. And it's not. Point of control is lower right now. So I'd be careful. I'd really be patient at this point. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing good today, man. What is today? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. See some new faces in here. What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome. Frankatong, what's going on, man? Good morning, hello and welcome. Welcome. What's up, Mike? What's up, Charlie, Mike? How you doing, man? Any trades today?
Yeah, I got a couple of scalps on the pre-market right after the PPI.
Oh, that news?
Yeah.
Nice. Good job. What came out today? Today's what, Wednesday? PPI came out. Month over month. Forecast 0.2. Actual 0? Alright, first off, let's see. Okay. That's interesting. Now, it was negative. Remember, it was negative in April, and that's when we sort of had that huge pop. April 11th. This is right after we had that Liberation Day, so that helped us continue, run out of steam, but now it's back lower again. It's pretty interesting, guys, how PPI came in at 0. ES, I'd look for longs off the support zone. NASDAQ, I wouldn't really touch it at this point. Neither of them I'd really look to trade. Let's see. Jay says he took the 62.94 longs. Nice. Good entry. Off support and lower VIX. Delta footprint showed good entry, so basically the same trade. Yeah, dude, that's like the same exact trade I took, right? We were looking at our volume to help us confirm that we're bullish on the Delta. We're looking at the VIX was at that point moving lower, so things were sort of lining up the way we would want to see them for a bullish move. Now we have resistance above us. We're trying to move lower again, though, on ES. Again, I'd just be patient at this point. Gold, huge sell-off on gold. Came into this demand zone, though. Not much support on gold. Probably wouldn't look to trade gold today. ES and NQ gave us some beautiful trades. Well, we'll see, at least. Gave us the first beautiful trade, right? Nice little scalp there. Now we gotta wait. So this was our first plan, right? Our plan of sweeping these lows, coming near this key level, and taking it long off that key level. So that plan worked on ES. That's great. Now the question is, do we want to fully break above and then retest again, or do we want to break back below like we're doing right now and range bound back lower? Dude, that was a clean exit on that trade, man. Glad I called that for a scalp. And the reason I knew it was going to be a scalp and not a hold is because we were still trading in the supply zone and NASDAQ was much weaker. So usually we'd like to see if I'm long ES. I want to make sure NASDAQ's also bullish. If they're having trouble, that's a bit of a red flag. $22,800. I know, man. I was looking at $22,800 too, and I'm like, damn, that's far. But it's possible, not impossible. It's possible, not probable, but not impossible. I think it could happen. If ES fails, definitely gonna happen. There we go. ES trying to hold. I wouldn't take ES shorts on this break lower because remember, ES had more relative strength than NASDAQ so far today. So if what that basically means, guys, is one of two things could happen. The NASDAQ's going to try to really trend lower and continue lower, and ES is going to feel that. Or ES is going to hold, and NASDAQ is going to be able to flip and go bullish, and ES will feel an even stronger move higher because NASDAQ was finally able to flip. Now, because equities have been so strong, NVIDIA is trying to hold VWAP right now. It is still above 170. I'd really only be looking for longs right now. I'd be patient, so patient. We're at this area of support on NASDAQ here, and we're trying to hold it. We see we already formed this lower wick right here. So we could just sort of wait and see what's going on. And see how this 5 minute wants to close. We have a lot of resistance above us on ES here. Good morning, everybody. Microsoft trying to drop, so's NVIDIA. That's a red flag for equities and large caps. 15-minute closes in a minute and a half. I'd probably wait till at least the 15-minute wants to close, because also if we want to wait for market to develop, we could wait for the 15-minute to close and then mark out our orb, or a 15-minute opening range breakout. That's our 15-minute high and 15-minute low from the 9:30 New York session open. And that's helpful because let's say we're on the 15-minute time frame, we mark out our orb high and our orb low. That helps to give us an idea to say, okay, if we're trading below our orb, I should possibly be looking for shorts. If we trade below and close below our orb, if we trade above it, I'll possibly look for longs. Sometimes we could look to see if we could break the orb low first, and if we're in a bull market, we could find support and target that orb high, because a lot of times, I believe it's like 60% of the time, or 70, 80%, something high, we could check Edgeful, and I'll let you know exactly what are the odds that we have a double break, actually. But my point being, where's Edgeful? There it is. Oh, that's not it. Oh, right, Bullishbrs. My point being, you could use the orb to sort of help create a system around your trading. Very helpful systematic-wise. We got a lot of fun tools, guys. We got Edgeful, we got Market AI, we got TradingView. Could pull up TrendSpider. I was messing around with TrendSpider yesterday. I had a call with one of their affiliates, and absolutely love it. A very interesting platform there. They're sort of like a charting platform too, but they have a lot of AI integrations into it, like really interesting. So let's go to our orb. 60% chance of a double break, right? So again, if we break lower first, which we just broke lower, what are the odds that we break back higher and break this high too? 60%. Now we could go to report and we could get a little specific with it, right? We could do standard, we could do by weekday. Say, okay, well today is Wednesday. What are the odds of a double break on Wednesday? 60% still. Okay, let's look back at the past year. 62% chance. So there's over a 50% chance of a double break. So it's something I would definitely consider looking for. So many tools. VIX trying to move higher, which is a bearish sentiment. If I was looking for shorts, it'd be shorts on NASDAQ. NASDAQ has relative weakness.
Teaching moment for folks here is if your concentration gets broken, don't trade.
Yep.
I had that phone call, broke my concentration, and I started trading in some chop. Now, I made my way back to a good, decent green, but I'm having to take a break right now because I can't focus on the charts because I've still got that conversation on my mind. So always pay attention to yourself
Yep.
and what's going on in your head.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Absolutely. And great example with it too. Good morning, everybody. Guys, what's going on? Look at this. ES now looks a bit more relatively weaker, right? On this 5 minutes trying to break, NAS is pulling back. If anything, NAS on this pullback might be a possible short entry here because VIX is moving higher too. There we go. ES hold, NASDAQ holding support. When I say the no trade zone, guys, I'll explain it one more time. We have support on NASDAQ down here because we have VWAP in this broken supply zone. We have now we have resistance on ES because we rejected the supply zone. So remember, like 10 minutes ago, it was the opposite. It was NASDAQ's at resistance, ES is at support, and we were able to take ES longs off that. Now we sort of flipped that script. I still wouldn't be too secure on longs on NAS here, though. Remember, when you're asking yourself, am I taking a trade here? If you're looking for a long trade, ask yourself would you take a short here? Or if you're in a trade already, let's say you're in a short trade from up here, and you're looking down here, and you're like, oh, well, maybe I should get out, we're pulling back. Ask yourself, if you were to get out of your short trade, is it because it looks like we're setting up for a long trade? And if it doesn't, hold your trade. Boom, look at that. Seller stepped in on NQ there. I said that wick looks more promising to the downside than anything, but I just didn't like NASDAQ being at the support area. It could just be another resistance zone where we crash right there. Remember, what did we say, 22,800 or something like that? 22,800, guys. 22,800 is 200 points away on the NASDAQ, but Bookmap is giving us that as a possible target. Look at this right down here. Right now, it only says, though, 41 lots. So it's nothing major, but it's the fact that surrounding it is all like 2 or 5 or 4 or maybe some 20s. So it could be a possible target. Could be is the main word there. Wow, guys, weighted index down here. Look how perfect we rejected that previous session low. That would have been helped to confirm a short entry there on NAS. Wow, guys, sellers stepping in. Apple selling off. Nvidia trying to move lower. Amazon's the only one really pumping right now. Other than that, Meta's moving lower. Microsoft rejected VWAP. Look at them sellers, dude. Dude, I'm glad I got out of those ES longs for his scalp. Oh, man. Gotta just trust the process, trust what we're reading on the charts, guys. We are on a 4-day winning streak right now. Absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it. Not too shabby. Dude, gold just melting away right now. We are no longer looking for shorts up here on gold. We were looking to see if this bookmap level was going to hold 33.50. We did not even get up there. We rejected right before it and then started moving lower. Alrighty. ES, I look for the 6281 area on ES. We broke it overnight last night and it worked as resistance. Now that we're above it, I would like to see if it could hold as support. Might be a possible long entry right there. And if we were looking for a long, so this is where the orb comes in, right? We have our orb high or orb low. If we get an entry long down here and target the orb high, that would be a great entry. But we'd really need to see a passive buyer or an aggressive buyer step in at that price level. Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. What's up? What's up, guys? Good morning, man. What a great day to have a great day. It is 9:52. Markets have been phenomenal for us so far. We're just waiting. Don't forget, join me for Futures Fever today for a chance to win a free Apex evaluation account, guys. I do believe they are still running a sale. Take a look. I think so, the 24th. Yeah, you still got time. 8 days, 80% off evals. Use discount code FFever, like Futures Fever. Use discount code FFever the next time you buy. I know, I'm giving up my own affiliate code to help them.
All right, ES is on VWAP and rejecting on that. Let's see what happens here.
Trying, man, we're trying.
We are a little overextended from the linear regression line, but we just cleared a fair value gap above us and went through that. So, and we've broken the low of the 830 report candle. So that would be our double.
Israel strikes Syria. Dude, Israel, could you knock it off?
No kidding. Wow.
Like,
they got to go fight somebody, apparently, since they said they can't fight Iran right now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Damn, gold's melting away. Gold must not be a fan of Israel hitting Syria. Gold's just got targets to the downside. 33.19. It's another 10 points on gold there.
All right, I'm going for a scalp short on ES. Target 62.81.
Nice. I see that. I have demand at 62.81.25, so I'd like to see us enter that zone as well. Even 80 could be a possible short target. 5-minute closes in 9 seconds. We should get that on the next 5-minute candle. I'd be careful though that we don't pull back first and maybe pull back towards VWAP-ish and then go hit that. So careful not to tighten up the stop loss too tight.
My stop is +2 ticks.
Plus 2 ticks.
And I'm out for
Yeah.
a whopping $25 profit.
All right, I was gonna say it's a tight stop loss, very tight.
No, I'm chasing my stops today. Like I said, as I get my mind back into the right groove.
All right, listen, if it's working, do it. If it's not, don't force it. Can't force anything. We have low volume shelf we're running into over here on ES between 87 and about 90. So 87 and 90. That's right near that old all-time high. So it's a key level right there too. 87 and 90. Make this blue like a fair value gap. Actually, we'll make it a box so we see it a bit more clearly. I just spent 2 weeks in Dallas, so it's gonna take a few days to get my mind back in the groove. Nice, man. Good to take a vacation, though. It's always great with trading that you're able to just be like, I think I'm gonna take next week off, you know? And be like, oh, well, I gotta submit my hours to my boss and blah, 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 blah. Yo, Fairchild, that's funny, man. I just saw his comment. We were just saying how Israel hit Syria, and we were like, could they knock it off? And Fairchild says, no wonder aliens won't visit us. A ship would land and Israel would just bomb it right away.
Well, I just came back from a stripper beauty pageant in Las Vegas. My mind is totally shot.
My mind's full of glitter and golds. I like, now we're on that pullback to VWAP. This looks good for another quick run towards that 81.80 area. Also building a little bit of a price level at 82.50. All right, let's see, guys. Let's see. Guys, it is approaching 10 o'clock right now. There we go. Nice little drop there. Nice. All right, we're going to go hit that demand zone on ES 6281. ES struggling to break through that demand zone, but look at the resistance that built up above us. I'd like to see that push us lower here. Not much support under us anymore, so it does have a little room to wiggle lower. Dude, NASDAQ so much relatively weaker today. Beautiful, man. Dude, I should have trusted. All right, there's ES, by the way, hitting that demand zone right now. Beautiful. VIX moving higher, helping us with that bear bias. But, dude, NASDAQ, talk about a perfect key level right here. Like, I wanted that 23,100 because of Bookmap. But, dude, this rejection right there, first off, should have been more open to taking this as the trade because this was sweeping pre-market highs and then reversing. That was a trade setup that I took the other day on NASDAQ. It swept a pre-market high into a supply zone. When it reversed, I took my trade and was able to really capitalize on a nice move. So we missed our entry on NAS. That's fine. Something that we could just readjust and reevaluate and fix and not miss next time, right? That's the best part about trading is we get to live to trade another day. Right, guys, so we go. Nas pulling back. Really wouldn't look for any longs at this point. Markets have clearly proven to themselves that they are trying to hold, that they're trying to hold lower, I should say. Remember, 22,800 we had on NASDAQ. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Went short off the news at 62.86. Footprint showed great entry out at 62.83 for a nice little score. Nice. 62.80 looks nice for a scalp. Yeah, look at this, guys. I want to show you ES right now holding that demand zone. Wow. So usually, guys, when I'm looking for a demand zone entry, what I like to look for is I like to look for a candle to break into it and then close back above it. So if I was looking for an entry, the double bottom here would be my entry stop loss near the bottom of the demand zone. Because if we break the demand, then my analysis is incorrect. This might be a possible spot for buyers. I'm just not a big fan of all of this resistance above us. That's really strong selling pressure. Let's see. Leo says I was negative 1,700 from an overtrade last night. Took that and short on NQ and came out plus 262. Waiting for more setups. Leo, you bring it from negative 1,700 to positive 260 on the day. That is huge. Fantastic. Great job. And selling on NASDAQ was just bonkers this morning, guys. Look at this. Let's see. What on Bookmap could we have used to tell us, okay, we're taking shorts? Well, obviously, look at all the big sell bubbles, right? This is aggressive selling, and price moves lower. Aggressive selling, price moves lower. Selling got a little weaker, so we pulled back. Met with aggressive selling, we kept trying to move lower. So that would have been not an easy clue, an easy sign, but an obvious sign on Bookmap to say, okay, these are shorts. Like right now, the current price action we're seeing is a buyer is trying to step in, but we have these red levels above us. These are passive sellers. So we have a little bit of a tough point. We have aggressive versus passive right now. What's up, Toruk? Let's see. With 2 trades, I made 200 on paper money on my second try. Good job, man. Good work. Everybody's killing it today, guys. It's awesome. That is awesome, man. Love to hear it. Love to see it. Success is the only option, but it takes time when it comes to trading. Really is a skill that takes some effort and time. 30-minute closed, 45 hourly. Hourly just closed too. Look how bearish the hourly candle was. So just something to consider. But something else to consider is this hourly was bullish at 8 o'clock. The 9 o'clock hourly was bearish. Now does the 10 o'clock candle want to hold bullish and sort of give us this range right here? Remember, markets range most of the time, more than not. So if we're looking for range-bound trades, those are the ones that are in our favor. Look at that. Resistance is pulling away. This looks alright on ES here. Apple holding up. Oh, yo, guys, NVIDIA at key psychological level 170, and it's holding it. That is fantastic. Nice, guys, nice. Yes, holding up. There goes that demand. Going great. Now, I'm not in any positions. I took that long scalp this morning, and that was sort of it for me right now. I don't want to force anything. I don't want to make anything that I don't see. Yo, Kevin, are you in here? Kevin Mack? Let's see. Oh, he's not right now. Gold is back. What you mean gold is back? Ooh, right off the open price. Dude, I love the open price. Such a great key level. Really works very well. Look at this rejection here, guys. This is getting close, man. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. The question is, are we creating a bear flag right here? Where we're going to pull back a little bit, stop people out to the upside and the downside, and then drop? Or are we finding support? If I'm looking at NASDAQ, it looks like we're finding resistance and pushing lower. And also, guys, the 15-minute, the 30-minute, none of those candles are still forming where it could be creating a long lower wick. They just opened right now. So for them to create a lower wick means they need to push lower and then reverse back higher. Same with the 15. Past two 15-minute candles have been bearish. I don't want to trade against that without a clear reversal. We go, ES pushing into demand again. No support under us, we're going to dive right through it most likely, and if that's the case, we can look for this demand zone to work as resistance when we break below it. And guys, I'm telling you, 22,800 on NASDAQ is in the picture today. Believe it or not, that is wild. Another 150 points to the downside. Let's see, ES trying to break below. There's the break right. Oh, so close. One more little drop, it's going to break it. Below 77.50 and it's a broken supply zone. Just wick the bottom of it. 2 minutes left though in this 5-minute candle. We got some time, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, guys. Don't forget, join me for Futures Fever today.
All right, daily profit target hit, which means I switch to paper.
Nice. Good rules. Good system. Let's get it. ES holding the bottom of this demand zone pretty well. Could almost look for a long entry here with like a 2-point stop loss. See if we could scalp higher. Let's see. Ooh, NAS holding up. Weighted index trying to hold up too. Interesting. Oil. Oil's just oil. What can I say? Yeah, that long went away on ES. 300 buyers stepped in at 62.77. Nice. Nice, getting out of this demand zone. Guys, I'm telling you, we got to use these demands as long entries or areas of interest. But I wouldn't take this one. Why? Because NASDAQ was at resistance. Same situation as this morning. What time is it, guys? 10:10. Guys, I'm probably going to wrap up the Bullishbrs stream early today, and we'll see. Probably in the next, like, 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. VIX is on a move. Nice. Yeah, VIX is flying high, which is a bearish sentiment. However, ES is at demand, and now VIX is at previous session high. So VIX is at resistance. ES is at support. That's great for long positions. This might be the turnaround. All these people that just got trapped to the short side on this candle, now we're going to pop and completely destroy them. Target 6,300 on ES now. That would be crazy, right? Imagine looking for a retest of demand one more time. Looking to target 6,300. Remember, we're looking for that double break of the orb now, too. Nice. Wow. Wow, wow. VIX moving lower off of that resistance point. That's amazing right there. And guys, this resistance point on VIX is right at the top of my red zone right here too. Alright, we're testing previous day low on NASDAQ. Could be a key level. Be careful. Again, same situation, right? Buyers step in, and then they fail. Sellers step in, and then they fail. So right now, we're sort of at a tug of war when it comes to ES and NQ. Apple made a new high a day just now. It's really the only bullish equity. Amazon's trying. I don't know why my VWAP has bands on it right now. Amazon holding, Meta holding, Apple was trying to hold. Nvidia is trying to hold that 170 level too. That's crazy how we wicked off of the bottom of that zone. Aggressive buyer on ES right there. Aggressive buyer at this 86, this big bubble. So now look, we made that wick lower, right? So now I have more confidence that we could possibly reverse. Remember, before I said we don't have any lower wick on that 15-minute or 30-minute, and now we do. And the Yow really making its way higher too. Looks pretty solid. Alright, we're back at a low volume shelf though on ES. This 87 to about 90. See how we react in it. Let's see. This is what I'd consider for the trade. Just a target demand. Small trade. 2-point stop loss, not even 7-point target. 4 to 1. And it's right off that old all-time high key level. NASDAQ off a previous day high. It looks okay. Look at this. Big buyer is now getting rejected. Usually we want to see follow through after a big buyer like that. Now, if we fail, this big buyer is going to end up forced to sell their position, which adds to more selling pressure. Weighted index moving higher. Amazon, nice pop. Apple, nice pop. New high a day on Apple as well. Nvidia took a rejection there. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, there's that rejection. Looks okay. We have some sellers there. Looks good to push lower on ES here. I'm being patient. I'm not taking this trade. But isn't it nice to see a trade setup play out perfectly right in front of your eyes without taking it? Yep, selling, selling. Very nice. Good pressure above us. Should see some follow through here. I think, too, everybody that saw this big green candle just before, and they were trying to take longs at these highs. Now, where are their stop losses? Probably at new low of day. Huh. Alright, pretty choppy right now, guys. We had a nice leg lower before. Right now, look at the price action, right? If you ever want to know, should I take a trade right now? Look at the recent price action. If you're trading on the 5-minute, look at the past few 5-minute candles. Well, we sold off until about 9:50, 9:55, and then since then, we've had a green candle, a red candle with a lower wick, a green candle with a long upper wick. We're range bound right here. There is no direction right now. When there's no direction, and it's that clear that there's no direction, we want to wait. Just sitting here killing trees with ChatGPT, creating strats. Bro, I never understood that. How does... I guess I understand it, but I don't understand it. So I understand how ChatGPT can use way more electricity. I mean, I open it on my phone dies in a minute. But I don't get how it could use more, like, kill more trees and all that stuff, do more damage to Mother Nature. But I guess if it's using more electricity, it is. I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm a trader. I know all that other stuff. There we go, man. Dude, this short entry, man, off that 62.8875 old all-time high level I had, it wicked it, dude. That is amazing. Weighted index struggling here. Looks like we're ready to push lower there, too. Use a great deal of grid powers, mostly. Okay, that makes sense. I suppose. Yo, what's up, Luciano? What's going on? JW Bass. What's up, what's up? Jim. What's going on, everybody? Alex the Killer. Bigfoot. Yo, what's going on, man? What's up, what's up? Look, see the guys, anybody that was trying shorts now down here, they're getting stopped out because now we're range bound still. So it's just a no trade zone. We got to be able to recognize that. Once you're able to recognize when not to trade, it's really going to help you when to trade. Same deal with once you're able to limit your losses. Once you're able to take a loss without blowing your account, you're going to see a better conversion rate as well on your trades too. Like, don't worry about, I need to make 200 a trade. No, worry about first, I need to limit my losses. I need to just lose $50 a trade. I need to just lose $100 a trade. Once you're able to limit your losses and know, okay, every time I do take a trade, if I lose, I'm only losing X amount. But when I take a trade and I win, I make this amount. That will give you the mental awareness and mentality to be calm and say, okay, well, I know that if I take this trade and I lose, that's okay, because the next trade setup I take, if I win, it's going to cover my loss and give me profit. How great is that? That is phenomenal. I know I see some traders on Instagram nowadays, they're like a 0.8 to 1 risk to reward. They're risking a 100 to make 80. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why would you do that to yourself? I understand, okay, maybe then having like a high win rate, 80%, 90%, but to have a high win rate will require more of a mental drain and more of a mental hurt to you. And it's I don't know, man. It's much easier risk reward wise, psychologically, to be able to say, okay, if I lose 2, I could win 1 and still be profitable. If I lose my first one, I could go win the second one and be profitable. Much less stressful, much more relaxing, much more calming. Selling pressure stepping in the zone up here. The question is, are we getting a second re-entry on the shorts right here? I think so.
That's a capacity.
Right? It has it in it. But it also has it in it for a full reversal back to the upside. 6,300 on ES has been a strong level since 949. Huh. Time's it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to wrap the stream up there. I gotta go prep for the that Benzinga interview with Bio Largo. Then I gotta get ready for Futures Fever. We'll do some stuff for Futures Fever. Guys, I wanna know, and please, Discord, please, 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 drop in the main chat any questions you have, whether it's a big question, a small question, a psychological question, a strategy question. Drop any questions, any strategies, anything you have in the main chat over here, and I will work on it and I will get to it in Futures Fever. YouTube, you guys too, drop something in the comments, something that you see me do daily, something that you want to learn, that you've seen online maybe, risk reward, whatever it is you're looking for to learn for me to further educate you on. Let me know in the chat if you're here on Discord. Let me know in the comments if you're on YouTube. I want to know what you want to know so I could work on it for you guys. And that will also help me to create some better structure for today's show. All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to drop the Futures Fever. Let's see. We'll pin the message on YouTube and Discord. I appreciate you all for tuning in. I hope you guys were able to take some nice profits with me on that ES scalp long. If you took any NQ shorts, good for you. Congratulations. A fantastic short trade today. We did over 100 points on NQ shorts off of that supply, that resistance area 23086. I did not get my entry on NAS, and that's okay. All right, guys, here we go. Look, ES in this low volume shelf area right here. So what you could do is you could look to take a short right there. And really, like, if we could reject this big buyer, if we reject off of this big buyer, you would short it around 86, stop loss around the high we just made around 89. But if we just keep blasting through, then there's no entry, no trade. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Later.
Later.
Thanks, Kevin.
You got it, guys. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. See you on Futures Fever in an hour, guys. You better be there. Please, please, I'd appreciate it if you would be there. And if you can't be there, click the link and at least drop a like on it now so it